Hello friends, near and far, dear to my heart, I'm Victoria with Aligned Soul Tarot. Welcome to Eclipse season. Happy Libra season as well. This reading will be for Gemini and all Gemini placements within your birth chart or wherever you have third house influence or transiting third house in your natal chart. If you are unfamiliar with astrology and the way it works, just know that I offer detailed, comprehensive birth chart, synastry chart readings, and a plethora of new services that I just revamped on my website. So check out my website, see what resonates for you. If you like me as a reader, feel free to book through my email. And also check out the North and South Node series I did because it is an eclipse month. We are feeling into these axes within our birth chart. And as a collective, we are moving through this Aries North Node, Libra South Node. I have the solar eclipse in Libra on my YouTube, and on Patreon I have the lunar eclipse in Pisces, which is really setting the tone for 2025 as we enter into the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Libra. So I highly encourage you, if you want to feel into what 2025 has to bring as a collective, check out that reading, the Pisces North Node reading. The links are all below. You can find that eclipse supportive playlist for the March and April eclipse readings as well. And on Patreon, I'm going to be doing a post-eclipse reading to check in with all of you for October as we prepare for November, as we are going to be entering into some different retrogrades and direct planets. Right, we'll talk more about that in October and November, so stay tuned. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, so you can stay up to date for when I post. And of course, if this message doesn't resonate, Gemini or cross watcher, watch for your other placements or check back later, right? There's a lot around the past, Libra South Node, past relations. And this can be all forms of relations, especially family, right? South Node is a lot about what we're born into. So we're really learning how to embrace interconnected relationships, or interdependent, I should say, and autonomy and self-awareness, self-mastery around relating in general, okay? So we're gonna talk about what this means for you and also prepare you for your Jupiter and Gemini planet, right? This is a transit, I should say, over the next year. It will be in Gemini until May of 2025. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and of course more in November. And yeah, let's see what this reading has for you, Gemini. Let's get into it. Why, hello there, Gemini, and welcome to your October message. Just know that this is meant to find you whenever you find it. It truly is timeless. I time mark it because of the astrological stuff we're going to talk about here first. Then we're going to dive into tarot and oracle supportive messages. And the love reading as well for October is linked below. I highly encourage you to watch both to get a deeper perspective. And again, watch for your other placements. Okay, so let's talk about this Libra influence that we have right now. Okay, the sun is still in Libra, Mercury is still in Libra, and we had this solar eclipse in Libra. Again, you can find that reading below in that eclipse playlist. It's a pick-a-pile reading, so you get to pick your own journey. And stay tuned on Patreon for that post-eclipse reading I'm going to be doing here towards the end of the month. Kind of just a little check-in before we enter into what's coming up for November and into the new year, right? And on Patreon, you get 20% off all of my readings and all the extended love readings. So yeah, if you like my style, come join me on Patreon. Into the next year, I'm going to be doing more workshops on how to read your birth chart and get familiar with these placements that I talk about. And on my website, again, I have a lot of new services that are blending in astrology and tarot, again, to deepen your understanding of your personal roadmap, right? Because it's very unique to you. So Libra influence always transits your fifth house. This is a beautiful house, but also the shadow, which I love to talk about both. It's very important. It's not all love and light and rainbows all the time. As we know, on this earthly existence, we are experiencing the polarities of life, and we're having to really surrender into this, especially again, as we enter into the new year with this Pisces influence, Pisces North Node. We'll talk more about that when it comes, but I'll be kind of talking about it as we get there, right? Because we're almost there, believe it or not. The year is wrapping up very quickly here. And for you, Gemini, just know that Jupiter's been in your sign since May 25th, and it will stay in your sign until May 16th Sorry, I'm talking about something else here, but I'll get into it. Until May, end of May of 2025. And Jupiter is going to go retrograde, okay? October 9th until February 4th. So for you, I wanted to talk about this specifically because, again, it's in your sign. Jupiter has so much wisdom. It is the god of the sky, and Saturn is Jupiter's father. So it's very interesting when we see these correlations of the dance, right, with these planets. As Saturn goes direct finally, right, in November, Jupiter will descend. So it's this trade-off, right? And again, these planets go hand in hand. Also on Patreon, I have a detailed reading of the story, the mythology behind these two planets and how they can work in tandem. And again, Gemini, it's a general reading. Each of you have free will and choice. So the lessons that you're applying from Saturn and have been over the last several years are highly influential of what Jupiter is willing to gift and show you. It always wants you to expand and grow, but it does require discipline and seeing where our limitations are, especially within the mind. Like I was speaking on during Virgo season is reframing. So I will link below that video as well for you about reframing. If you're new to my channel and you haven't heard of this concept, it's a therapeutic tool that a lot of therapists use. And I'm a psych major, so I always like to talk about these therapeutic tools that can help you in the actual physical 3D, right? Because we have to be able to ground ourselves, right? We have to be able to take active choice, and that's a lot of what you're doing in October with some of the transits you have. Fifth house is all about creativity, right? The positives of that is dance, movement, poetry, any way that you can express yourself with Gemini. This is so important for you. If you feel like you're losing that childlike wonder, that is such a beautiful gift that all Geminis have, wherever you have it in your chart, right? We have to hold on to that, because when Geminis start to become jaded or pessimistic, which naturally we all do, no matter what sign, it really can put a damper to your spirit. You have this very youthful presence and a taste for all things, and that's rainbow spectrum that you bring to the world. You know, you can see a lot of different perspectives and you can relate to lots of walks of life. And through this relating, through this empathy, there's a curiosity, there's an openness and willingness. And if you feel like you're losing touch of that in the dark world, the shadow underbelly that we're feeling, especially with the pressures of Saturn at times, it can really contract. So we have these very opposing energies of Saturn and again Jupiter, which are very closely related, okay? And they work together. They're the two sky gods, right? They dominate a lot of the sky, right? There's always so much more to uncover with astrology in your birth chart, and I would love to guide you with that with a personal reading. But let's focus on what's happening now, because again, Jupiter is going retrograde, and retrogrades are not a bad thing. With also, again, the Libra transit in your 5th house, Venus in Scorpio in your 6th house, and Mars in Cancer in your 2nd house. This is a lot about values, responsibilities, health, bringing up awareness in relations and Venus around health, around your values and your priorities, 2nd house in Mars. So it's like what I have, what kind of resources do I have to provide a sense of stability in my relationships and within my own self, right? That's that Saturnian quality there. Because 2nd house is Taurus, 6th house is Virgo, earth. So it's a very much like an earthly energy that you're being asked to bring out or bring on into the world with supporting friends, right? 6th house is also being of service in relationships. But again, there's a fine line there that we're learning with Saturn in Pisces of the martyr. And there's a video below that I explain this in detail. So if you want to get more familiar, the link for Saturn in Pisces is below. We've been feeling into this retrograde for a period of time now here, right? So it's going to go direct. And again, Jupiter is now going retrograde. So they're doing a switch off. They like to dance together there. Isn't that kind of interesting how that works? So now the focus is going to be as we enter into November and October, especially for you, because again, Jupiter's in your sign, it's going to ask you to apply the lessons of Saturn, okay? If you're not through your first Saturn return, this might look a little different, or if you are going through your Saturn return, this could be very magnetized. Again, Jupiter magnetizes things where we're being excessive, and how can we apply discipline, routine, structure, Venus transiting your 6th house, to be responsible and to live integrity, purpose in your relationships, and what are you doing to benefit yourself in relation, right? Because it all starts with self. So it's a lot about self-growth, self-development, creative ways that you can inspire others and also yourself in relationships, and really really clear about a schedule or routine, and an understanding of what your values even are. You know, sometimes we lose sight of that, and those can also change. Our priorities can change and shift depending on our life circumstances, and that's okay. Especially during an eclipse month, things will shift naturally, and we cannot fight upstream. So also for you, Gemini, it's crucial for you because we're right kind of smack in the middle. Eclipses, of course, are a great time to reflect on cycles from March and April, and also when Jupiter went into your sign in May. Since May 25th, when it entered your sign, what kind of opportunities have come to you? How have you received them, right? How are you actually being open to them? It all starts with your mental space. You know, our beliefs, our emotions, our feelings are very much correlated with how we see the world. And again, we can't claim those gifts and that wisdom if we are choosing to stay pessimistic, apathetic constantly. And we can flow. We're feeling that contraction. Again, Jupiter in Gemini, Saturn in Pisces is expand, contract, expand, contract. Can feel very polar, bipolar, right? In Gemini, you have the twins, you have this dualistic nature, so you've been feeling it probably a lot, especially because Saturn in Pisces is transiting your 10th house of like, what am I meant to do? Who am I meant to be? How can I be a better person? How can I be a better person in my relationships, especially? So there is a lot of duty, responsibility, and earth qualities in this transits for you, okay? So reflect back to when Jupiter was in Taurus, because with any retrograde, it's about looking back. So for you, it's going to be crucial to think about when Jupiter was in Taurus, which was May 16th of 2024, May 25th of 2023, sorry. So May of 2023 and May of 2024, that whole year, what was going on in your life, right? Think back to those eclipses, right? You can look back to my readings or check out another reading or get a detailed birth chart reading with me or any reading, okay? I got the message to count your blessings, right? It's the simple things sometimes that we can, again, start to reframe the brain of not life is shit, everything sucks. Yeah, there's a lot of things around. There's a lot of external forces at play that are keeping us kind of repressed. And yes, there's a lot of grief that we're processing. There's lots of remembrance of what's happening. We cannot keep our eyes closed to this stuff, but we also can learn how to be better. We can try to not play the victim, not play small. And of course, there's moments of rest and recharge, which was part of your message last month, but there is this sense of duty now, of like picking up the pace, like, okay, I got to snap out of it. I have to start to count my blessings and start to see the beauty in life and the opportunities that I have and the privilege that I have here. And taking small steps. It doesn't have to be grandiose. You know, you don't have to do it with any sort of expectation either. You know, we do it because we come from a place of love and understanding and compassion for our fellow humans, and especially the ones that we are in intimate relationships with. So I want you to try to ease into this. Again, ground yourself. If you're feeling like you're all over the place, just ground yourself. This is getting out of nature. This is getting a grounding mat. This is literally going and walking barefoot outside if you can. Meditation. Meditation's really good for everyone right now, because wherever you are in the world, you are feeling this pressure. There's a lot of pressure. Eclipses do apply pressure as well. So for you especially, Jupiter going retrograde until February 5th, okay? So this is going to be a substantial amount of time. It's not a bad thing. It's just starting to count your blessings and looking back at 2023 up till now, and also maybe even jotting down some opportunities or goals that you are trying to usher into the new year, right? Preparing for the new year is a good time now during this Jupiter retrograde, okay? So count your blessings. Also look into your Saturn natal placement. I have a 6-month transit reading where you can dive into your relationship with Saturn right now. And you also get a tarot spread with that. It's a very watery month. We're going to have this grand trine with water. So this is also about you connecting in with your emotions, which, you know, Gemini, that can be somewhat challenging sometimes. There can be an avoidance for all air signs and detaching from your emotional space and just do, go. And that can happen here with Venus in the 6th house and Mars in the 2nd house. But that Libra influence is asking you to balance that out with this work play. 5th house talks about creativity, again, dance, movement, working out, moving, shifting energy in the body. And also, how are you coping with this sense of responsibility as well? The shadow of 5th house is like substances, entertainment, validation, right? Seeking validation from the wrong people or hanging out with the wrong crowd, going out and drinking excessively, spending too much money. So this month is going to be important for you to narrow it in, get a little bit more disciplined, because Saturn is now going to be going direct in November, and it's going to be where were we limited, where were we our limited beliefs kind of holding us back from growing. And as Saturn goes direct in November, we're going to be able to actually utilize the application. That's wisdom, right? All that knowledge that you've culminated, which Gemini, you are highly intellectual, knowledgeable, and it's now like really starting to ground it. Again, journaling, writing it down. I'm a Gemini, so I know writing things down, having lists, you know, and not overdoing it either. Apply grace, okay? Give yourself grace here. But there's little things that you can do throughout your day to create more harmony in your relations. Venus transiting your 6th house. Again, lots around health, wellness, detox, drinking clean water, getting out in nature, simple things like that. It doesn't have to be so grandiose or extreme, okay? So let's get into your reading here. I'm going to pull from the Hermetic Tarot to start. I just got this new deck. This is a very deep symbolical deck. I actually was watching a documentary. I would highly encourage you to watch Symbolic Studies. I'm going to link him below as well. He is a mentor of mine that I love. He really dives into the symbolism of the cards and the stories and the narratives around these planets, all that good stuff. He has a great series on YouTube and also on Instagram. But the Hermetic Tarot is linked to the Secret Order of the Golden Dawn. So this is like Rider-Waite, you know. There's a lot of different occult magic and practices that are found in deep symbology found within this deck. This is my first black and white deck, so I'm excited to use it for you. Gemini, what does Gemini need to know for the month of October? Again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you know when I post, and stay tuned for that post eclipse reading on Patreon. I also have, again, that lunar eclipse on Patreon, a Pisces lunar eclipse, which I feel like we all should be feeling into those eclipse readings, because, again, these are massive cycles that we are closing out, especially around the past Libra South Node. Also watch for your North and South Node natal placement, okay? Highly influential. Diving deep into that part of your chart. Gemini, what do we have for Gemini for October, or whenever you find this? In cross watchers, you can place the roles as you see fit. Gemini, what do we have for my Gemini collective for October? What are the lessons that they're learning through Saturn, right? What are the lessons that Gemini is learning through Saturn and Jupiter? These are the main focus points in your chart that I want you to look at. Jupiter, Saturn, and your North and South Node. Also next month, I'm going to be feeling into a Chiron series, looking into that part of your chart as well. Jupiter, what are the lessons that they're taking from Jupiter and Gemini? And also Saturn, and what other advice do we have for them in their circumstances in their life? How can we best support Gemini? Angels, guides, allies? Too many. How can we best support Gemini during these times? The Gemini collective that I'm tapping and tuning into. One more card, please, for Gemini. One more card for the Gemini collective. Please show me the truth. There it is. Okay, so we're going to start here. We'll pull some oracle messages to support you as well. So, interesting that last month you got this Nine of Wands here. Okay? Nine of Wands is Sagittarius moon. And you had it smack dab in the middle of the sun and moon. If you didn't watch last month's reading, go watch it there. There might be something there for you. But there's a course correction. Whenever I see the Chariot in reverse, there's a course correction, again, around your limited beliefs. Seven of Swords. Okay? Seven of Swords in reverse. This can talk about lies, deception, but in this case, again, with Saturn, it's about where we're limited. Where have we made ourselves too limited to grow? Jupiter and Gemini. So I see that you had this course correction or experiencing with Chariot in reverse. It could have happened back in July because this is the major arcana for Cancer. And it says here on the card, the Lord of the Triumph of Light. Beautiful imagery here. Such powerful imagery. And then we have the Seven of Swords, which says Lord of Unstable Effort. So again, there's a level maybe of instability from your past. And now you're having to make a pivot or a course correction with eclipses. Again, things can change pretty rapidly and sometimes unexpectedly, kind of like a tower moment or epiphanies or revelations. And it's about self-deception around beliefs. And now you are being course corrected to balance something out here, especially amongst your heart, because Nine of Wands is moon, also with the Ace of Cups here. So there does seem to be some opportunities to grow emotionally, which I like, because again, there's going to be a grand trine. There's going to be lots of watery energy coming in October, and also feeling into November, right? Scorpio's water. We have Venus in Scorpio right now as well. And that's going to still be staying in your 6th house. So 6th house is going to be of importance even in November. And then I have this Three of Swords. So there's lots of healing the wounds. This is also Chiron for me, Nine of Wands, Sag. So we have Sag, we have Libra here, 2 Libra cards actually. So this is very much signifying this Libra South node. You may very well have a Libra South node or North node. You can check out that playlist below. But this is just a time marker for me, I'm feeling, especially with the Justice card here. So there's been a level of avoidance, persistence, you know, and it's like, again, that to-do list can really cram your schedule up where you avoid this Ace of Cups. You're avoiding the love that's in front of you. The simple ways that you can show love to yourself and others. It can be a smile. It can be just a humble approach to any situation, applying grace, applying water, which is very receptive, very feminine, whether you're male or female. So it could also feel like a highly emotional month, especially for Gemini. But again, depending on your birth chart, you may very well have water, so feeling into those parts of your chart. And not all Geminis can't connect to their emotions, is that they can tend to over-intellectualize them and get trapped in the mind, right? And then it can lead to more perpetuating pain. Three of Swords, Lord of Sorrow. But you are finding some restoration here, Two of Swords, of making more clear decisions. Again, Venus in the 6th house and Libra, solar eclipse, Sun, Mercury. This is revelations around creative ways to work through some obligations, responsibilities that you're finding yourself in relationship to others, okay? So I see that you're getting more clear around this Three of Swords even. Maybe really starting to feel into the pain, Ace of Cups, Nine of Wands, and how maybe you have just been persevering, moving on, so much to do, and I gotta just keep fighting. This is like kind of like survival mode with the Nine of Wands. Again, that's my Chiron card, so looking into your Chiron, which we will be feeling into November, maybe even at the end of October, we'll see time-wise for me. But I'm definitely going to be doing that Chiron series. The Lovers, here you are, you just flipped out here. Yeah, this is all around love. This is all around, not just if you're in a relationship, but this is also about making choices in love. Again, active choice. I see that earth quality coming in of discipline, routine, structure. Not just playing the victim, not just saying, oh, this is just the way it is. Allowing the powers of the water energy to root you down. There's power in your emotions is what I want to say here. And you have this Lovers, this is your major arcana here, that is assisting you in some way. So there's two parts of you, and both of them are valid. You know, Gemini, you hold, yeah, Nine of Pentacles. Good. You hold both, right? There's a wide spectrum here of understanding, but the thing that can happen is that you can analysis paralysis, right? That Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, which you become restless. So you got to like slow down to be able to actually apply, again, the wisdom that you're gaining from Jupiter and Gemini, also your Saturn placement, where have you maybe limited this space to express your emotions because you just got to trudge on, you got to move on, you got to keep doing things and keep going. And it's like, again, no, you have to apply more feminine energy here. Love, you got to also apply love into the situation, even if it is brutally challenging for you. Because all of you are different and going through different things right now, right? And I honor that for you. And there's times when you can sway. It's not all love and light, but we have to reframe sometimes, and we have to just start taking action in our lives, right? To better ourselves. And that's really what the message is with all this kind of earthly transit for you. Mars is going to be going into Leo here in November too. So that will be a more beneficial, I'd say, transit. But I think in November, a lot of the signs are going to be experiencing some relief. But again, it depends on your lessons that you've been learning through Saturn. Let's pull from the Animal Oracle. Again, Saturn returns are highly crucial moments to pay attention to wherever you find yourself on that timeline. Again, first Saturn return is 28 to 30 years of age. Second one is 58 to 60. And also in between, right? If you're in between there, which most of you are, most of my readers are, or viewers are in between that age, there's a lot to still reflect on and take in. Let's see, Gemini, what advice do we have for Gemini on how to work through some of these energies and how to open up their heart, really is what I'm seeing. You could be also entertaining new love or deepening a love in a relationship with the Ace of Cups, which is very beautiful. We'll feel into the love message below. You can find that link. These are more self-focused, but if other signs show up that you feel a strong connection to or within your chart, all the better. And sometimes these readings, most of the time I should say, correlate. All right, Gemini, what is their animal medicine? Gemini, camel. Yeah, preservation, reservation, time. Camels do not move fast. They have to reserve their energy. So I'm getting this message strongly for you is this is the shadow of Gemini. Go, 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 do, do, do. You know, Nine of Wands. That's good. There's a lot of strength there. You can get a lot of done. You're a multitasker. Again, you can see lots of perspectives. You can connect the dots. I'm a Gemini sun. I have a sun and Mercury. So I know this energy all too well. And again, we're having to kind of recharge here and reservations so that we can step more into our power, our willpower, to continue to fight the good fight, because you're worth it, is what I want to say. You're worthy of great things, Gemini. You cannot overtax your system. You have to apply that Ace of Cups, a little bit of grace to balance something out. Again, you might have been just really acting from this fire energy, and maybe that served you. Probably did to some extent, right? You're an intuitive being and you know best, but the cards are guiding you more towards balance around your heart, around your emotions, where you don't have to feel like you have to just persistently keep doing more things. Sometimes the best thing you can do is to just not do, you know, the resistance there. There's resistance around something. Or maybe there's a resistance to go deep into love, especially if you're in a new relationship or again experiencing love for the first time or the fifth time, or you know, but there could be resistance in your relationships as well. This can be also talking about someone else that you're with, you know. But there's a lot around just slowing down, camel, so that you can achieve this tiger. Tiger also, you know, they don't move too quickly. They have to narrow in on their target, and they have to be able to do so with patience and very laser sharp focus. Venus in your 6th house transiting. It says understanding why you resist what you have to do is a crucial part of the creative process. So again, last month you had that 9 of Wands. You had the moon and the sun both around it. So there was revelations around maybe why you've been operating from survival mode, maybe why you felt like you had to. In last month's reading, you had the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords, so rightfully so. There was a lot of pain that you're processing. And there's an Ace of Cups here, so there's an opening. This is an opportunity. All aces are opportunities, and that can look different for all of you. It could be an opportunity to deepen a love relationship. New love, old love, whatever that might be. This is a general reading. But there could have been resistance that you were feeling in relationships, or resistance for you to go there, really. A resistance that you felt that maybe you couldn't. Now is not the time type of thing. But you're being called to take slow and steady strides towards, again, what do you value? Creative outlets as well is going to help you balance this to be more in the camel energy, where you can feel more in flow, where you feel like you're in purpose, right? Saturn is transiting your 10th house still. So in order for you to really get clear on what you're here to do and the karma that you're learning, and to get off that hamster wheel, is that you have to slow down, Gemini. What are you resisting? And understanding why, right? Why you resist it. This is about, again, the past, your South Node. South Node in Libra is really asking us to look at past relationships as well. You could be looking back at old love, new love, Ace of Cups. There's an opening though. I love seeing the Ace of Cups. What else for Gemini? What are you resisting here and why? What is Gemini resisting and why? We live in a world where we are kind of forced into the survival mode, but we can refrain. We don't always have to say, again, this is just the way it is. This is the way it's always been. We're creatures of habit, right? And we're being asked to break out of that so that we can reframe our thoughts, especially around love and accepting love. And it doesn't have to just be intimate. This can be accepting love in all its forms. And again, count your blessings. What kind of blessings have come into you? What kind of opportunities were you been able to learn, right, through Saturn? What is this teaching me? What are these relationships teaching me about love and about how I love and how I've been loving and how I've been showing up in relationships, and outdated beliefs that maybe I've been holding on to due to, again, conditioning, programming from childhood? You know, and all of that is acceptable and all of that is welcome here. There's no need for you to shame yourself. Yeah, pause and growth. So it's a journey. So there's going to be moments of expanding and contracting. Again, Jupiter, Gemini. Jupiter is going retrograde. So this is going to be that pause for you that I'm feeling. Camel, pause. It's a journey to growth. And there's going to be this kind of sway of growing. And it's like expand, contract. Again, Saturn in Pisces contracts us sometimes. And also Pisces represents pause, 12th house. Where do you have Pisces in your chart? Or any water is going to help you. And this is a journey, again, the journey of the camel. This is a long journey. They take long treks, right? And they need to know how to reserve. They need to know how to take pauses. I'm going to actually read from the book here. And this is Earth. So see how this Earth element is very strong. Also looking into any Earth placements in your birth chart or an Earth sign that's helping you. This is knowing oneself, even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger. The camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water. See? Lots around water to calm the situation. Ace of Cups. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites, fire and water, in being responsible for one's own actions. So this is fire. You actually have two fires. Sorry, this is not Earth. That's that Nine of Wands, Sag Moon. Action. Again, you've been go, go, go. So much to do. And I understand that. I run 3 different businesses, so trust me. I love what I do. I love multitasking. But I can see where it gets in the way of me deepening my heart space. Because a lot of the time when we resist, again, why? When we're always doing stuff, when we're always like, just keep going, right? What are we avoiding? You know, workaholic. Or always on to the next creative endeavor. Yes, use those hobbies, interests of yours to create and to find balance, I think, really, with this Libra eclipse and the Sun and Mercury in your 5th house. It's about creative ways. Again, if you're not utilizing your time off or making time off in your schedule, even if it's just a quick break or just saying I need a day off, scheduling in some days off if you can, to rest, then the 5th house, the shadow again, is substance abuse, going out to bars, excessive eating, binging, not taking care of your body. So if those are things that are coming up for you, it's a time for you to start to implement practices so that you can, the eye of the tiger, rising up out on the street. I'm going to put that song, Eye of the Tiger. Eye of the Tiger, let's have fire. I'm also getting the song Let Go by Fro. Let go, and just jump in. Well, what you waiting for? It's alright, 'cause there's beauty in the breakdown. Let go. Pause, it's okay. All that stuff's still gonna be there, is what I'm saying. It says calm, content, sparkle. Yeah, if you're out of balance with the camel, it's dehydration, lacks vitality. This is about a journey that you're on, a pilgrimage with the camel. You're on a journey, and it's okay to pause. So if I needed to tell you that, well, I'm here to tell you it's okay to pause. It's okay to pause, okay? We're going to pull from the Moonology to see what signs you could be dealing with in love. We're going to take this over to the love reading, okay? And these could be transits. These could be aspects within your synastry chart, right? When you look at both charts together. And if you're interested in doing that with this love interest of yours, you can do it with friends and family as well, business colleagues. If you're not in a relationship and you're feeling some tension, you can do those synastry chart readings for anyone. So check out my website if you want to go deeper into these messages. And the love reading is linked below under the October links with songs. And again, I'll link that Saturn and Pisces reading, reframing video. What signs is Gemini dealing with in love? Just let go, trust. This is like a high priestess kind of vibe. Cancer, yeah, where do you have Cancer in your chart? But that's that moon. So also paying attention to the moon phases, which right here I am seeing. This is the moon phase that we're in right now. Okay, right after the new moon, we have this waxing crescent. So this is signifying right now you have to step into this camel, reserve, drink more water, stay hydrated. Know that this is a journey. You're not going to get there overnight. Cancer, tapping into your ancestry root as well. Cancer represents 4th house, the first 7 years of your life. Where have you been protective as well, Cancer, which is kind of that 9 of Wands. Overprotective, overbearing. Protecting your heart. There is a resistance around the heart, and understanding why you resist what you have to do is a crucial part of the creative process. Yeah, 5th house. Thinking of creative ways through movement, dance, even breath work could be very beneficial for you. Just ways that you can relax. Yoga, right? There's so many different ways, and you can make all the excuses in the world, but Gemini, guess what? Your spiritual growth and development is what's most important. Your health, you only get one body. You only get one meat suit. Cancer also is very maternal and nurturing, so nurturing yourself. But again, you could be dealing with a Cancer or have Cancer in your chart. Let's see. You had that Chariot too, so something happened in July. What other signs could Gemini be dealing with in love? What kind of energies are surrounding them in their love dynamics? I could be picking up, single, past, coupled, friends, family. But these are more geared towards intimate. Pisces, look at all this water. Pisces, yeah, that lunar eclipse in Pisces reading could be very beneficial for you to watch on my Patreon. We have Pluto, Scorpio. Right now, Pluto's in Capricorn. It's going to go back into Aquarius. We'll talk more about that as we get there. And Mars. See, that's that fire, right? We have fire here. Go, 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 go. But it's a time of really reflecting now. That's what's going to bring that true growth, something that's actually going to sustain itself. Because if you think about even gardening, right? I'm going to use this analogy. I'm just going to go plant some seeds and I'll tend to it maybe once or twice a week. Most likely you're not going to bear fruit. Sometimes the luck of the draw that you're like, wow, I actually didn't do much and I actually bared some harvest here. That's what we were reflecting on in September. So that's another message I'm getting is I didn't have to actually do as much as I thought I did, right? But also I know that when the time is right, there are things that I have to do, especially around my heart, right? So I can receive love, so I can be deserving of love. So these are some signs. Again, Mars can be Scorpio as well, so it can signify Mars season. Also, this could be talking about transit, but again, Pluto, you could have Pluto in Cancer, Pluto in Pisces, Pluto in Aries or Scorpio, okay, for you or your person. Or again, these are time markers. We're gonna feel into your love reading. I hope to find you over there, Gemini. If this is where we part, bye for now.